again, from the high-level academic perspective, when we first went with the AAP motion, it was seen as a very awkward and almost unworkable process. Well, credit to the people who went out and got the petitions signed and did that. They made sure that the AAP was a workable component. I think that slowing the process down now and going back and asking some of the questions, going back to the funders, makes them think that this is the right process to slow it down. Come back with a referendum question at a later date. I think Councillor Young is quite right. The question that's asked is going to be critical. I'm also interested, Councillor Lucas suggested to put it off till the municipal election for the 2011. I think that's too late.
I appreciate hearing the public expressing their either support or concerns or whatever side they were taking or what they felt to be able to hear from the public about their feelings regarding this issue. I also want to congratulate as many councillors that ahead of me spoke on the group for being able to be out there and do the hard work and their energy in getting the numbers that were needed from the people that signed the petition, as well as some of the calls and emails I received. Was that people felt that the decision was rushed. They felt that they didn't have time to fully understand how we came to our decision. They felt that there were many questions that we still needed to ask or that they weren't aware that we asked, and that they wanted more answers.
I want to start off, first of all, by complimenting those involved. I think this is the alternative approval process has proven itself to work. And I also want to compliment Ross Crockford personally for his respectful approach to this issue. Because there have been those that have been very disrespectful and very spiteful. And I think, like most people, members of council, that just gets our backs up and we become very resistant to hearing. So I think there's a lesson to be learned here. On the message from the alternative approval process, it's still unclear to me what that was. We know that the public is didn't like, perhaps they didn't like the process. They didn't like the option of replacement, or they didn't like spending $42 million. The best decisions are made in discussion with the public, with my colleagues around the table, and with experts outside of that process. So that it's not mob rule that makes decisions. I'm also very concerned about what's going on. I am yet to be convinced that we've made the wrong decision. I think what we're also dealing with here is a cultural switch against politicians. Well, I don't know what the alternative is.
Let's be clear. The funding application process says you make a decision on which way you would like to proceed, and based on that, you provide the information. There is no process where you phone up a minister or a public servant and go, oh, would you be in this one, would you be in that one, or maybe this one, or maybe that one, or how about I suppose? You, as a council, have to make a decision, and then you apply for the grant based on that. Essentially, our responsibility in council is to go through all of those questions, understand that, and then based, as other councillors have said, the best information that we think this is the best, most sustainable decision. And then you put that forward to the public. That is what's being recommended now. That we will move to referendum with the public, asking to borrow, in essence, $42 million for a new bridge. We are looking forward to taking time over the next period to inform the public in that process. All of our publics haven't come with us. That they're still clearly part of what the AAP process said is. There's a need for more information out there. We're not sure. Only clear message you can get from that is the stated message. And the stated message is, do you want a referendum? And that, frankly, is where we are. Just to be clear, the motion is that we will move to referendum on a new bridge. We're looking for information from the staff, and we recognize that we're going to have to initiate a new process throughout the whole referendum process of continuing to inform the public of why we need it, do we need any of these other things, or we can clean it up.
Your Worship, I'm not clear when you stopped reciting the motion and when you started discussing the motion just now, and I'm not clear that what you said is what Councillor Madoff said.
We commit to a referendum that Council asked for a report from staff on an appropriate timeline and to formulate a question and seek approval for the question from the provincial government.
That was provided in our option simply stated that should Council subsequently wish to consider adopting a new borrowing bylaw to fund either the replacement or refurbishment of the Johnson Street Bridge, then the bylaw will need the approval of the Inspector of Municipalities and the assent of the electors through referendum.
In the Mayor's reading of the motion or interpretation of the motion, it was very clear that we're moving toward a referendum on the new bridge.
Yeah, the wording includes replacement or refurbishment, so we're not limiting ourselves as we move forward towards a referendum.
With respect, that's more than a shade of meaning. That's pretty fundamental. I think we have to be clear. Is the motion, as the Mayor interpreted it, which says we're going to do exactly what the recommendation in front of us says, except for some reason we're going to take more than 80 days, and that means we have to go back to the province? Or in fact, are we going to re-examine the options open to us and examine and talk to our public and talk to our technical experts or new technical experts and actually engage with the public and with those experts to decide what kind of referendum question we should ask?
An option that whatever which way we go, we'll be looking at moving forward. So we'll be looking forward whichever way has gone to doing a referendum. Then we'll be looking for a timeline coming back from staff on that when we refer it, and that with the interim period we'll be looking for further information on both new bridge and refurbishment options.
I support the first part of the motion, which says let's close the door on the existing bylaw. I think if we approach it with the idea, we all know what we want to do, and our job is over the next little while to convince the public that we are right. I don't think that's the right spirit to enter into this engagement process, and I also am concerned that it will color the technical information we get.
Committing to a referendum on a borrowing bylaw to fund either replacement or refurbishment of Johnson Street Bridge, asking for staff for timelines, in the interim, taking time to request information and engage with the public.
You might wish to capture it within the motion. I think it goes without saying that that's the process involved. So.
Well, it doesn't go without saying, because I've heard my colleagues say things like, we've decided what we want to do, and our job is to convince the public that we're right, or to give the public information indicating that we're right. That's not what I call public engagement.
That's not public. Here.
And that's it. We could. I mean, we could, frankly, if you wanted to, refurbish the bridge right now for $35 million, take it out of our capital reserves. We never have to borrow money. But I think that given the process that we've gone through to the AAP, that we've heard from a significant portion of the public that says that we would like FSA on that. So I would be comfortable talking to the public to say, whatever options. All those in favor? Opposed?